Today, I've got my May reading list for you. May as in maybe I'll finally read these books off my bookshelf. Let's check it out. Hi there. I'm Michelle with the Goffstown Public Library, where I'm an adult services librarian. My job is to bring the information you want or need to you when you want or need it. And even though I'm not physically in the library today, I hope I can do just that, which is why I'm coming to you for the 5th episode of Book Talk with Michelle. May has finally arrived after a long and drawn-out winter, and I couldn't be happier. Even though it did snow last week here in New Hampshire, I'm optimistic about this month, and I finally put my cold weather clothes away. That optimism has spread on over to my reading life. I'm feeling uplifted, and I want to take charge and get a new start. So I've gathered 5 books from my bookshelf that I've been avoiding, hoping I'll read them in May. So I've got those to share with you today, and I'm going to be doing it in reverse order, which I've got them. So the first book I want to share with you is the newest addition to my shelf, and that is The White Man's Guide to White Male Writers of the Western Canon by Dana Schwartz. This was a holiday gift that I got in 2019, so I've probably only had it for about 5 months, which isn't bad at all. This is the full-length book version of Schwartz's satirical Twitter account, Guy in Your MFA, explained on the back cover of the book as the unjustifiably overconfident man in your MFA who mansplains the most important, aka white male, writers in the Western canon to you. I'm looking for a laugh, and I think this is going to be filled with those funny literary jokes that I have a penchant for. In fact, the person who gave this to me, we have a running message thread of just Hamlet memes, so it's definitely in my wheelhouse. The writers that are pictured in this book are definitely the ones that you were asked to read during high school. So like Shakespeare and Dickens and Hemingway, they've all got a pretty manly reputation, and I'm excited to see them get poked a little fun at in this book. This book has been described as a handbook for the wannabe literary elite and a book for those who laugh at them. So like I said, this is a great book to read if you like literary humor, if you're looking for a light read, or if you know, or if you are that guy in your MFA. So you can check this one out on Hoopla. Book number 2 is Monstress by Marjorie and illustrated by Takeda. I was also given this book for a holiday present. The person who gave it to me was a librarian, so in all likelihood, he had perfectly calibrated it to my taste. You know, librarians are good like that. But I didn't give it a second thought after I got it. I put it on my bookshelf and said, I'll get to it later. When I was looking for books for this book talk, I grabbed it, and I don't know how this book hasn't already been devoured. Like, it's perfect for me. It's a graphic novel, and the illustrations are wow, they are so intricate. The shading and the delicate movement of the lines is incredible. You can see action on every page, and that blue-yellow tone of the whole book looks really amazing, and I can't wait to just enjoy that art. But on top of the amazing art, it's a Lovecraftian horror story. Now, if I have a niche of reading, it's graphic novels of Lovecraftian horror. That's not a huge niche, so I'm surprised I haven't heard of this book, and even more surprised that I didn't gobble it up the second I was given it. It gets even better, though. It's set in an alternate, matriarchal version of 1900s Asia, so awesome own voices representation here, and very diverse. And then, on top of that, the protagonist is a young woman named Maika Halfwolf, and she's joined with an eldritch monster. Very cool. And then she has to navigate this change, plus the attention of the deadly forces, both human and otherworldly, that it attracts. There looks like there's a lot of world building here that I'm very excited to get into. And then, on top of all that, it's a 5-time Eisner Award winning book, which is the premier award for graphic novels. It also received a Hugo Award for Best Graphic Story, and that's the best award for science fiction books. So this was really well regarded. And again, I cannot believe this book flew under my radar because it seems perfect for me. This is one I'm not reluctant to pick up in May. I'm particularly interested in how this book uses Lovecraftian concepts in a diverse setting to elevate the diverse voices that H.P. Lovecraft himself sought to silence. So it's a book I can't wait to get started on. I'm very intrigued. And if you are as well, you can find many of the issues contained in the bound volume I have available on Hoopla. I was also given this next book, but unlike the others, which were a pleasant surprise to receive, I begged for this book. The second I saw the pre-publicity start for Joe Hill's Full Throttle, I called my bookseller friend and begged for an advanced reader's copy. I absolutely groveled for that book. And then I never read it. Yep, I begged and pleaded for an ARC, and it's been published for 8 months now, and I still haven't picked it up. Shame, shame, shame on me. I love Joe Hill's writing. He can really capture a setting. And he can keep hold of the plot better than other similar authors like Stephen King, who has a habit of losing me in the third act of his novels. Joe Hill can really find the horror in the everyday, like a Polaroid camera, for instance. Or in this collection, a bookmobile, a fossil, and a trucker. I've already recommended Joe Hill's work enthusiastically on this channel before, and I'm confident these 13 new short stories will hold up to those high expectations. If you like horror and haven't read Joe Hill yet, you are honestly doing yourself a disservice. This book is so popular you can find it on all of our platforms, Overdrive, Cloud Library, and Hoopla. To the surprise of everyone, I actually bought the 4th book on my list, which is Reading the Silver Screen by Thomas C. Foster. I've had this book on my shelf for going about 2 years without reading it, so its time has definitely come. When I initially purchased this book, I was in the middle of this project where I was watching every movie recommended to me for 3 years. My interest in the project waned significantly, and as a result, I kind of pushed this book back. But now I'm reading it, and I think I'm really going to like it. The author, Thomas C. Foster, also wrote How to Read Literature Like a Professor, one of the most accessible books on literary analysis ever. That book is partly to credit for my great love of reading, and I'm fully expecting this book, Reading the Silver Screen, to open my mind about movies. The list at the end describing all the movies in the book includes such a variety as Top Gun, Up, Annie Hall, and West Side Story. I need another movie list, like I need a hole in the head. But I do want to watch movies with a greater appreciation for how they get me to feel the way they do. This book looks perfect for cinephiles and rookies like me alike. If you've ever wondered about the magic language of movies, you can check out Reading the Silver Screen from Hoopla as an ebook or an audiobook. The book I've had the longest is Walking to Listen by Andrew Forstoffel. I'm embarrassed about this book because I borrowed it from a friend 3 years ago, and 1 graduate degree, 2 apartments, and countless chances to give it back later, I still haven't finished it. Now, not for lack of trying, because I have half read this book about 5 times now, but the time has come to finish it. In this book, the narrator, Andrew Forstoffel, decides to walk 4,000 miles across the United States in order to learn to be a man. Instead, he learns about others and the diversity of lives we have in this country. It's a classic coming-of-age odyssey. It's in the same vein as Cheryl Strayed's Wild and Bill Bryson's A Walk in the Woods. So if you liked that, you might like this. This book is definitely marketed towards an early 20s demographic. Like, it would be great for a graduation present. The true strength of this book lies in the transcripts of conversations Forstoffel recorded while on his journey that are included in the text. It's really the people you meet in the book that makes it all worthwhile. This month, I'm finally going to finish it, and if you want to read along with me, the audiobook, which is narrated by Forstoffel himself, is available on Hoopla. Thanks for watching. Those are all the long-forgotten books that I'm planning to read this month. What's languishing on your bookshelf? Let me know in those comments. I'd love to hear, and maybe you'll even consider reading those books this May for a fresh start in your reading life. It's like spring cleaning for your bookshelf. Like and share this video if you got something out of it, and don't forget to subscribe for great content like book talks for all ages, story times, how-tos, and more. I'll see you back here next Saturday for another episode of Book Talk with Michelle. In the meantime, connect with the Goffstown Public Library on social media for even more book recommendations, or visit goffstownlibrary.com to see what's in the catalog yourself. Again, I'm Michelle with the Goffstown Public Library, and I'll check you out later. Bye!